statue placement.
Yeah.
So.
It's not always the same thing every day, so you're thinking like the latest project.
Not the great thing. That is good solution. It's like, well, I ate the cookie. Yeah.
They're getting survey.
You'll just get them more.
Gracie had some interesting stories from last show.
Oh, yeah.
Things right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of times she had to refuse
That's how we go.
alcohol.
Yeah.
She told me what she said. I'm like,
Yeah.
good for you.
It's challenging.
She can be very poised to like.
That's what it is. Very good job.
I was urban planner before here.
Okay, right.
Raleigh. So with Raleigh. Okay.
You live out that way?
No,
Okay.
I mean, close enough, Steve, but.
Have to drive one way, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We need to make sure it behaves.
I always think it's funny.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and start the recording at this time.
My fault.
Remember. This time.
As well, okay.
Sleeves. I call this meeting of the Art and Culture Committee to order at 6:00 PM. And our first order of business is to consider approval of the August 20th, 2025 meeting minutes and take appropriate action. The minutes are included in your packet. And I will take,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll say.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Yes.
I just wanted to address the making a motion. If you are an alternate, you are not allowed to make a motion, so I missed that in the last meeting. So we have to just be careful if you're an alternate.
And alternates do not get a vote unless we are under quorum, unless you're filling in for someone who is a regular member that is not in attendance.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yes.
All right, we're moving on to our next item on the agenda, which is discuss election of board officers and take appropriate action. The election of officers is determined by the committee. The process of selecting these positions varies with each board committee. Some boards committees nominate and vote for officers at the same time. Other boards committees appoint a nominating committee to present a recommended slate of candidates at a subsequent meeting and then accept nominations from the floor, if any, then vote. We are voting today, so we are not selecting a nominee or appointing a nominating committee. We're just going to take nominations from the floor. The slate of officers is as follows: chair, vice chair, and secretary. And for the record, I think we should point out who currently holds those positions. And then we have one of two options. We can either vote as a slate or we can vote each candidate separately. So the current chair is Amy Cave, the current vice chair, Brianna, and the current secretary is Dawn. And we can begin now. I'd like to take nominations for the office of chair.
I'd like to recommend that we leave the slate as is and go forward. I think the group has done great, assuming all of you are willing to continue serving. I feel like we're in a good rhythm personally with that.
Thank you. So, well, first, we haven't talked about it. Are you
Yes,
comfortable with
I'm
that?
comfortable with
Okay.
that.
Okay, so what we need to do is we would need somebody to move that we elect the slate of officers as follows: Chair Amy, Vice Chair Dawn. Do I hear a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to keep the nominations prior, or similar to the prior year, with chair as Amy Kay, vice chair as Brianna, and secretary as Don Valentine.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed? The motion carries. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it. And we will move on to subcommittee updates and then take appropriate action if necessary. And our first subcommittee that we will hear from is Artist Outreach.
Artist outreach, the only update that I have right now is that I provided Bonnie a template for an email to send out to all those who are currently listed in the artist directory, and to notify them of the yard signs. And I sent that to her today, and she's going to run it through all the channels but that's all we've got. We will in future plan another event, another artist. But I think our priority right now is the signs that are already in hand and to get those distributed.
Great, thank you.
I'm hoping staff would send them, or are we hoping staff will send those out, right?
And
Yes,
I'll
I-
address that. So, yes, Amy and I met with, Robert and Jessica, and we, did come to a conclusion that staff will send out the email, the mass email. But Rita, and I saw you were on the email also, Chris, thank you, were gracious enough to write it. So that helped us. And I feel that, we can do that, not too early because we want to make sure people attend. So I did go and pick 4 events that I thought would be a good place to have either a marketing tent or a arts and culture table. And so in the notes, you can see that I'm just gonna read it. Staff will provide, an email will be sent by staff to all artists listed in the artist directory, informing them that arts and culture yard signs will be available for pickup at several upcoming fall events throughout the city. Haunts and houses with the date and time, Halloween in the park with the date and time, Branch Arts Live with the date and time and location of all, and then our Day of the Dead celebration. So we're gonna start with those 4. Rita and I talked about it a little bit, and I did put together a sign-up sheet. This sign-up sheet here is for, we will need volunteers from the board to be able to, you'll be provided with the artist directory, the list. I think there's 60 to 65-ish people on the list. Most of them don't mind getting an email or hopefully will come to the event. It's a way to get foot traffic and the community to come out to one of our events that's already existing. And then also for us to meet who is a fellow artist and who is interested in arts and culture and wants to pick up the sign. We will put a picture of the sign in with the email, but I do have a sign up, so I'll send this around. And then I also have a sign up for our Day of the Dead celebration, which is a great arts and culture. Jennifer was a great volunteer last year doing Loteria with us. So it was fun if anyone is interested in that. So this sign up, arts and culture, this is for giving out signs, whether it's at the Parks and Rec marketing tent, or we have our own arts and culture table at a Branch Arts Live or a Day of the Dead event. This is strictly Day of the Dead to help with Loteria, maybe work in the craft area. And if you can't do the whole time, if you can volunteer an hour, any help is great. It's a fun event and we welcome anyone and everyone. So I'll pass this around and I don't know when, should I do it now or as
Yes.
we're talking? Okay, so there's two things. There's the Day of the Dead and then there's the sign.
What is Loteria?
It's
Mexican bingo.
Yeah.
It's what?
Mexican bingo.
Fun.
and there's prizes.
Good. I know. I was like, I think that I could do. I don't know about the crafts. I'm not
It's so
so
fun. Well,
It's super fun.
Jennifer did 3 hours of it last year, so.
And not by myself.
Yeah, but you were pretty great.
It was fun.
That's
You were
awesome.
pretty great, Jennifer.
Now,
Yeah, and the adults and the kids both got into it.
Oh, that's so fun.
so Bonnie, at these events where we will have the signs, will there be an option for people who are not currently in the directory to sign up
I think
for the
they should.
directory?
I think we should
there should,
have
yeah.
A QR code.
something. I mean, let's talk about that.
Okay.
You know, we can email back and forth and see
Sure.
what is the best way to capture that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we should have, a regular piece of paper and then maybe Jennifer can make us a QR code or do something.
I'm sorry, can you repeat what you just said? I was.
Signing up to get people to add themselves to the artist list.
If they show up to one of these 4 events.
We
and
can
they're
absolutely make a
like,
QR code. I did want to bring up something related to that. So Farmers Branch has updated their website. I'm sure many of y'all know the calendar.
We're gonna talk about that under events.
Okay, I'll save that, but I looked at the artist directory and I noticed that when I go in and like search for someone, the information that was readily available before is not as readily
Right.
available anymore, which I'm assuming that's deliberate. But like if someone is trying to look up a local artist and like doesn't have like a login, then they can't see information. They can really just see what category they fall into, but like don't have access to like click on their website and stuff like that. And I feel like having it open source like it was is more beneficial to each of the artists because then, you know, when people start realizing, hey, we have this, then others in the local community could also use that as a source to find and utilize the services that are on there. I sent a text message to Rita asking her to check it out because, well, I guess probably because the website was being updated and created, that there isn't an option for me to create my account. I guess I would have to probably email you to do that.
We talked about that and we knew there was a few glitches.
That are being
We
worked
do,
out.
they're being worked out and there is a form, I'll talk about it under, I have it listed in the notes under the events review committee.
Okay.
Because that's gonna change a little bit and we'll discuss that then. There's a form submission that you did. And we have talked about it, when we made Jessica aware of a few, they're still ironing out stuff, so we're hoping to correct some of them. But there's a form that you could submit to inquire
Okay.
about that. So
Yeah, so like the big thing was, you know, just being able to see all of the information that they submitted would be great, especially since currently I don't have an account to log into, but when I do, I was trying to compare the people that had been there like a year or two ago and then the ones that are there now, and all I could really see was the names and their category, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's it.
thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else from Artist Outreach?
Nope.
Great job, thank you. Arts and Culture and Public Spaces.
So it says
We-
here that staff and subcommittee members will provide an update on the project. We will start with, the subcommittee. And then we will, leave some time for, some of our staff members to make some comments on that.
Yeah, and I think you've got attachments here too, so we'll let the staff dive into that, but, Ted and I got together and looked at maps and talked about the placement for these 3 pieces that the city has been, storing and, should be ready to install soon. And, you know, tried to make decisions as far as a logical progression as you drive, you know, that the order would make sense and stuff like that. So, and we forwarded that to Bonnie, and I think that's what we're gonna go with if we, depending on what we hear from the staff.
So Jessica Alvarado, Recreation Superintendent. Here is Mark Moffett, Park Superintendent, and Tara Bradley, our Parks Manager. Park, planner. planner, sorry. So they're gonna give you guys, they're here to give you guys kind of a rundown update of where we're at, where we're moving. And if you have any questions, feel free to get them.
Okay,
Before they start, I do want to say, Tara put together a great packet for the subcommittee to go through. So that's what you're looking at is the result off of all their information. So it was quick and easy, and the Parks Department has really, thought why certain places would work or not to make this move forward really well. So
Great.
Yeah, this looks
yeah,
great.
thank you for doing that.
Pretty much, we're gonna take all the recommendations that we recommended to y'all and y'all recommended us, and we're gonna move forward with this. We only had one that might need to be moved just a little bit further to the south due to the handicap or not crosswalk area and poles and things that are in that area, because with it, the size, it could block view of people trying to cross the street or hiding behind it, so we might move it. But other than that, we like the locations. And we're gonna go ahead and move forward with this, take it back, and we should start on here for long.
so time frame from starting till you think you'll be done with all three of them.
I want it done tomorrow.
Well, you gotta let the concrete cure.
Well, we've already poured these slabs once, and had to tear them back out.
Oh, no.
Let me just say, we're gonna do our best, and the best timeline I can give you right now is by the end of the year. And the reason why, we have multiple projects going on right now, and we still have our day-to-day assignments that we have going on. I have a special projects crew, but they're working on a street right now doing landscape, and we have a playground that's coming in within the next week or so. So, and then we have special events that we set up for, so it's I hope to have it done by the end of the year. I know there were some stipulations on some previous folks that were here that wanted a little higher off the ground. I don't know that we're still going to do that, but it all depends on how we look at it. It'll either be a small slab a little above the grade of the ground, or we might go up where it's higher, where it's more focal, kind of like the one down towards Luna and Mercer, where it's actually on a pedestal type thing.
We were hoping, we had suggested that just for both, sightline and traffic purposes. Yeah.
I will be getting with Public Works just to make sure we run into an issue where you become kind of at fault if somebody was moving very fast down the street and they were to hit a concrete slab that's elevated. I know that there's already one there. We would like to do that, but I want to check with Public Works to make sure they're fine with that, just so we don't become liable. Have a bad accident hitting that. The way we kind of want to do it right now is so that if a car hits it, it breaks away. And it, unfortunately, it'll probably have to be replaced, but at least it breaks away and the car doesn't get any worse damage than.
Okay.
The car gets the damage, not the person.
The person.
Yeah.
Right.
Could y'all look at possibly doing, well, I mean, thankfully in that area, y'all have full 3-inch curb, not the mountable curb, so
Yes.
that's preventative. And then if you were to do like a 3 to 6 inch elevated slab and then that like sonotube type pedestal or whatever,
Mhm.
that would kind of prevent it more, but one thing you might look at is seeing what's available that's similar to like the crushable electricity, like, utility poles.
Mhm.
Because there's obviously some room in there that's to decompress or to compress when and absorb some of that impact.
I think just from a recommendation, the two that are, I'll call them single units, and the Fox and the yellow element thing. They don't have to, the pedestals don't have to be as big as some of the other pedestals.
Yes,
So don't feel like you're trying to make them all match to even match the one that currently exists.
Yes.
They should match the structure, not
And
uniform.
the site, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
and then your one of the three leaf things can be really shallow
Yes.
because it's about seeing the leaves, not the pedestal.
yes, and one of the concerns was that they didn't want white concrete or the gray concrete, wanted to go with a darker concrete to kind of blend it a little bit in and a little less.
I thought we were doing marble.
That's first, but needless to say, that's where we're looking at, so, I mean, y'all have any more questions, if not?
The other suggestions, and it's ugly, is the metal beam guard fence. You could wrap it to prevent you know, anybody that does hop that curve. And then there's some that are not quite as ugly, but are a little bit more expensive, that TxDOT has.
Those people should be arrested if they're having that much trouble driving down that road.
Oh, man.
Can I ask a question about this, this diagram on 13, this, with, it's numbered 1 through 8, and 2, 3, and 4 is what we're talking about. Are 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8, are those existing?
5, 6, 7,
Those
and 8
were-
were the original locations of where they were talking about putting them.
Okay, so
Um,
that's not where other things are, right?
No,
Those are
if-
just possible locations?
if there
Okay.
is an art committee or anything moving on along the future, or if they have funds later on, our recommendation that those are good locations, but we wish to have it a smaller type because of the amount of landscape that's in that area.
Right,
We chose these areas that's between Luna and Valley View because it's wide open. And it's a lot less damage to the landscape and irrigation and electrical that in the median.
It has the
It's
space
wider.
for the structures we already have purchased.
Yes,
And so if we want to use the 6, 7, and 8, we would look at purchasing structures that fit that space because the median is much smaller. So we took all of that
Yes.
in our consideration and looking at it. There is one space still open down on the 1, 2, 3, 4 area. So if we got another large one, you'd still have a space to put a
okay. But
large.
these other numbers are just spots, they aren't existing, because there's,
One of them is
because
existing.
there is an existing piece
That,
already.
that one's,
5 is an existing piece?
no,
no, it's
where four,
Yeah.
where four is at,
4.
further east of there
Okay,
is the statue that's already there that's been there.
It's
That red one.
Between 4 and 5, or between 3 and 4?
Between 4 and 5, there's already
Okay.
that's a
okay,
statue there.
But it's
Okay.
still on the west side
It
of
is still on the west side.
Yes.
yeah.
okay, thank you, I just was.
You're welcome.
Anybody have
clarifying.
any questions for Todd? Questions on this?
There was another piece in here, so if you're looking at other statutes in the future, it tells you the width of the median and how large it is, so you can kind of have that in mind when you're
You go
digging
from
out, so.
We can set out
30 foot
spec
median
for
to
a future
Yeah.
piece,
Yeah.
okay.
No, that was great. As we were going through it, we could really see all the different options.
So who would we, if there was a future project, who would we go to say, okay, what are the specs that we would need to give an artist to have the right size piece for this?
You would go to your board liaison.
Okay,
board liaison that come to us and then we
Gotcha.
would.
Well, thank you all for working so
Yeah.
hard on this project. We appreciate everyone's input. And, Mark and Tara will take it from there, and hopefully we'll see some statues and beautiful art along the West Side Art Trail here in the near future.
that'd be great.
I'm excited.
So once they're all in, can we, do a gathering and photos and
Ribbon
talk
cutting or
about how
something?
this gets a little PR behind it? I'm sure there's a group in the city that will want to do that. I know the artists, just when they first put it out, were anxious to see them posted. So how do we celebrate that, I guess?
Yeah, once we get closer to that time, we can establish some type of a communication timeline and distribution on how we get that word out.
Great.
Could that be made into like a proclamation? Something?
No, we could do a proclamation on site, but it wouldn't be a proclamation that comes to the council.
I just think we should celebrate the artists that we finally have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of them
Give them
been
a-
waiting so long, he wanted it back, I think, and,
Yeah.
no, you don't get your art back once you've given it up. But we will celebrate it.
Absolutely, we should.
Great. Well, thank you all so much. We appreciate you taking time to come and visit our board tonight too. Thank you, our committee.
And great job.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
She did the hard work.
Yes, you did.
We both did.
But see, he gets a little.
Okay, are we ready to move on? Okay, great.
Just because I have an update. Are you all gonna step out now or did you want to stay? Yeah,
Love to.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay. I just didn't, I wanted to give you the,
Oh, no. Had a late night last night.
yeah.
Tomorrow night, so.
Thank you all so
Thank you
much.
for being here. We appreciate it.
Terry, you could just leave that box right on the seat and I'll take it. Yes. Unless you want to, you are taking that with you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you both
Thank you.
very much.
Bye-bye. Be safe. I just wanted to give a quick update on the electric boxes. So, Rachel had sent me two proofs to look at, the sports ones, and they look great. So we are moving along with that. I don't have it on the agenda tonight because I wanted to focus on West Side Art Trail, but two of them, it was exciting to see them, the graphics for it. So I'm excited. We had a couple of minor changes, but we are making progress in that area.
What are the sports of those two that they're focused?
Well, one's near Brookhaven, so it's a combination of racquetball and golf and tennis. And then one is near the baseball field, so it's baseball, softball, soccer.
Cool.
Great,
Yeah.
moving forward. All right, strategic planning. I see that subcommittee did not meet.
Correct.
Correct, okay. Rolling on to arts and culture festivals.
All right, Grand Starts Live. It'll be here before we know it. We're super excited about the event, especially since it's going to be out here in a new venue for us. We met beforehand just to kind of go through logistics. Jessica's been doing an amazing job keeping us updated and making sure, we have everything we need for the event. And I also see that several of y'all are signed up for that day, and that makes me very excited as well. We already started getting some submissions. The deadline for that is this Friday. So
This is included, the call for artists.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
call for
so it's
artists.
in your packet.
Had lots of different people reach out, so hopefully we'll have quite a few submissions again this year. But we think we have it kind of all under control with what we're doing. But you're always welcome to come out, to volunteer, to just be there as an audience member, whatever it is. But for the most part, I think we're ready to we're excited about the new location. We think
It's gonna be beautiful.
it really is.
Well,
So,
and the neat thing is after the call is completed, which is you said this Friday is the deadline.
Yeah.
Then this is the marketing flyer that's gonna go out and just to invite the community and, local artists and family members and whoever wants to come out. So then this will be the next step. You'll start seeing this flyer and hopefully we get a lot of people from our community that.
Tad, are you gonna be there to
support.
count?
I'd be there, yeah.
Awesome.
We've got the beautiful tap boards that
Yeah.
the city made. Thank you, Jessica, for that. That's amazing.
Yes, the team, put another semi polish on it, that Brianna sent us the link to, and so they tested it out and it's good to go.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna
Is
be
it
fantastic.
on it?
they didn't have, but they touched it.
Yeah.
They're like,
I did last time.
So we're gonna have a food vendor. Do you
We're gonna
wanna-
have a food vendor, so Maggie from Nueva Leon is gonna be there, so that's
We'll
exciting.
have art vendors from
Yeah.
our schools. We'll have the mariachi added. So we're adding quite a few things this year into the mix. So we're excited that each year it grows. So
On the art vendors, are y'all handling that separately from that sign up?
it's,
Internal.
Yes.
So in order, they're not really vendors. It would be the partners. So it's the ISDs and then it's Dallas College Brookhaven.
Okay.
So it's their club. So they're
the money
not,
is-
it doesn't go to the artists per se. It goes to their programs.
Yes.
So
So it's not,
it's not true
I
vendors.
just wanted to make
we're
sure
not
because
there yet.
Kalika's been reaching out to
Right.
Jessica's team and then also to me again, asking about that. And I wanted to make sure that we had decided,
We're not there yet.
yeah, it would be next year.
Yes.
At the
At the
earliest.
earliest.
We are
Yeah.
not there
So
yet
it's more
because there are more
paperwork.
hoops to jump through
Correct.
to get that.
Yes.
Yes.
More
Yes.
regulations,
Yeah.
et cetera. Okay.
so Jennifer, will you respond to her and let her know?
Yes.
She emailed us today again also.
Yeah, I'll reach out to her.
Yes, thank you for staying on that. And,
It's not that we don't want to.
well, yeah, we just, well, with
We wanna do it
moving
right.
locations.
Organically.
Well, and because we moved locations, we wanted to make sure, we want the best possible event every year.
Sure.
So we just want to make sure that that can happen.
One step at a time.
Yes.
I have a suggestion on that, to keep them engaged, maybe not selling their art or whatever, but they have pretty frequent like monthly turnovers of like their art and they display it in the Carrollton Library in this like kind of collapsible, it's kind of like a screen that they just hang all the art on.
Mhm.
Maybe allowing them to put that on the sidewalk and have people,
A display.
yeah, to show like what the most recent stuff is and just to be able to give more awareness for
Is
the local
that-
community.
Is that allowed? I think that, is that,
So my only concern is, well, I have two concerns. One is would someone else on the board be willing to handle that? So,
And
Yeah, when I reach out to Kalika to tell her,
so you
you
would.
know, maybe not yet, I would, if she has interest in anything else, I could say, well, one thing that we might be able to do is allow y'all to display what y'all have already up
But are
in
you
the
gonna
Carroll.
man it and be responsible for it is the
And
question.
then how would you put it up? Because I don't think we have anything like that. Like, we wouldn't be able to.
Well, I think that thing,
I think
I'll
that
ask her
belongs to
that
the
thing,
library.
oh, okay, all right, well, if there was. At least I can put that seed in there that maybe at other events that we could do that on, and then we can
My-
figure that out. along
My
the way.
thought, Jennifer, for something like this would be, personally, I would feel uneasy about having my artwork in the middle of a crowd and all that stuff. But, to do demos of art, to have an artist with their easel painting or drawing or, things around there, I think would be
Live art.
doing live art, I
Well, that's
think
what
that
we've
would be.
talked about growing too. I mean,
I
we
think,
talked about.
and it
last
wouldn't
3
be,
years.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't think that would be additional paperwork, because if they're not selling anything, if they're just promoting their group,
But
the Arts Association.
yeah, so it is.
Oh, is
a
it?
different-
All right.
Yeah, because they're
Okay.
performing a service, so they
Okay,
may not be selling any goods or
Right.
or services, but they're still coming and they're setting up something and they're doing, it.
okay,
That
be a
there, it
liability.
was just like their pieces of art, like you're walking by seeing someone's artwork. But to have them, I think it's a safe call that we just roll this out next year.
Yeah.
Just because we're currently working through pretty much anybody on any city property, regardless if I'm sitting here reading a book, is required to have certificate of insurance. And so, that changes for a lot of things, even a lot of our stuff. And so we're working through that, with risk management and legal. So I just don't feel comfortable with putting that out there yet.
That's fine. Yeah, I can relate all that information to her. I think I heard y'all say at the events review committee that the certificate of insurance and stuff like that are all located in one location now. And they've kind of been like summarized, so they're not quite as extensive.
Oh, yeah, no, it's minimal requirements that the city requires. It's just now been at a different level than our risk management now wants. They want that layer of protection for the city at all costs.
Mhm.
And so now they're basically saying anyone and everyone.
Okay.
So we're working through that.
Great. All right, okay, moving on to events review.
So the events review met on
September 4th.
yes, September 4th, and we had a few things that we discussed. There's a new person at the city, Molly, that came from the city of Dallas. And okay, but she has background in like the food trucks and like the permitting and stuff like that for that. So hopefully that'll help with some of the planning for things for like Gateway to the Globe and any other events where we have kind of food things related. The big thing that's coming up is the Halloween in the park, from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock on October 25th. There's gonna be lots of cool things going on. There's like a princess and wizards tent, the scary thrill trail, the local high school students and hopefully other students are gonna be involved in manning different activities and stuff like that. They have the October 1st, actually, I think they're already out already. The Boo passes are now available. I think they're $7 for non-residents. But
I
obviously,
thought October 13th is what I saw.
okay, all right. I saw a social media blast that I guess they're gonna be
Oh.
released soon.
Yes.
That's what I must have
Yeah.
seen. But there's some push to also get some activities that are also adult themed. So there's like an axe throwing trailer. It's not limited to adults, but there's gonna be some restrictions, I think, just for safety precautions. The library board is gonna be there, and the PTAs are gonna be involved, so that's really cool. The next thing we kind of talked about was the Gateway to the Globe, the task force. Will be kicking off in November, so this week I'll be sending out emails and text messages to the ones that were on the previous 2 years, a task force, just to let them know, hey, this is coming up. There's a few that had told me that they were already not interested, so I'll just reach out to the ones that had told me they were. The Christmas event, December 6th from 5 to 9 p.m. They're doing their stage performers request right now. They have a lot of really cool activities that are never done before. There's been a lot of push to like get the ice skating back. While they didn't do that, they have a really cool new snow vendor with like these slides, I think, that is gonna be a pretty cool draw. There was some talk of maybe doing some kind of crafting activity for the kids. I don't think that's been completely hashed out yet, but there were some good ideas that were thrown around. There's a Christmas market that I think was gonna be in the indoors of the branch. The
We're
venue.
working through that. That also is dependent on certificate of insurance.
Yeah, and so when that hopefully goes through, then I can reach out to Kalika again and let her know about that stuff. A really cute idea was a Christmas wish chain where like you get paper and you write your wish and put together, and they were talking about using like wrapping paper to make it more colorful. So there's just a lot of really cool little activities and stuff like that that are hopefully in the works. And then, you know, all the normal stuff, like a Santa or elves reading in English and Spanish and stuff like that.
I really wanted it to continue to be more community driven, so you're actually involved and in line and doing crafts with your neighbors in Farmers Branch, whether they're your literal neighbors or in a different district, but you know, to be able to conversate with different people and not it just be, we're staying in line to get your face painted, we're gonna go to the next line. So I think that's kind of what the events review subcommittee and the events team is, that's what they're aiming on this year. And then we, you know, see what bites, and then whatever bites we roll to the next year, and then get new innovative ideas to continue to grow the event.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot more areas that y'all are touching upon that reach out to people aside, in addition to those with little children. So that's really exciting. I didn't mention this before, but I went to the art table, which is technically in Carrollton, but it's a cute little place that you can like, go do art and crafts and stuff like that. I'll bring these around so you can kind of see what it's about. But it would be a good vendor to bring and maybe have them set up an arts and crafts thing in the future. So I told her, while she can't really sign up for our artist directory, to reach out to the Farmers Branch Carrollton Arts Association and like get in touch with them, because then maybe they could do some like partnerships with some like demonstrations and events and stuff like that. And if those go well, then we can see about using them for the city and stuff like that. So that is, I think, all I got.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for the update. We appreciate you attending those subcommittees. I wanted to talk briefly about the new design of the agenda. In the past, we had links to different entities throughout the city that you could go to those websites and find out what's happening. And I just wanted to read some of the notes here. So Amy and I got together, like I said, with Jessica and Robert, and we wanted to really streamline the agenda. And now that the website has been redesigned and updated, there's a calendar that lists everything on it. As they work out the kinks, hopefully you'll be able to find what you're looking for, and you could, with just a few buttons, be able to find out what's going on in all the areas of the city. So I want to just read this. It says the City of Farmers Branch recently launched a major redesign of the official website to improve accessibility and ease of use for residents. The enhancements include a cleaner design for improved readability, simplified navigation structure, enhanced search function, including a popular search feature, mobile-friendly display across all devices, so it'll be easier when you have your phone. That was something Tad, I know, talked about a little bit. Expanded features such as a separated calendar and a new categorized section. Color-coded alert banners for important announcements, and a new Farmers Branch events page with a comprehensive city event calendar. And I know that's something the committee had talked about for a while, so hopefully it's your one-stop shop. So we feel that all your information should be there. When you go to the calendar and when you go to the new beautiful website. For feedback, website feedback, and I did include this, Jennifer, and that's why I wanted to include this for you. The feedback forms are available at farmersbranchdx.gov for residents to submit comments or report issues. So what you just told me, if you want to put it on a form and submit it, it's something they could take a look at as they work through the case. So
Yep.
that's why they do have that there, because I think it's gonna take a little bit just to get everything up and running. And also under this subcommittee, the Events Review Committee, the committee members, this is the time that committee members are able to discuss and give feedback on any activities or events attended in the city of Farmers Branch. So this was an opportunity for you to talk if you came to one of our events throughout the city. And that's why, as we look at how many things are going on in the fall, here's just 4 right here. David said not only is he as Newsy Junior, he's getting ready for Frankenstein, young Frankenstein. So as just a lot going on, which is really exciting. So instead of creating new, as we have Branch Arts Live, which is just has so much momentum, it's a chance to just visit our already existing events and volunteer, come as a guest, enjoy with your family. We'd love to have guests. So we can quickly go around the room, talk about anything. If anyone wants to add, if they visited any events or they have anything to share, we'll take just a couple of minutes to do that. The date of the next events review subcommittee is Wednesday, October 2nd. And that will be probably the final one as they prepare for Halloween in the park. Remember our Dia de los Muertos celebration at the historical park houses for the little guys at the historical park. There's Branch Arts Live in there, along with preparing for then the Christmas celebration. So, we'll go, Amy, we'll start and we'll just go around that way.
I haven't been to anything
Okay.
recently, but I did have a lovely tour of the senior center, and it is gorgeous, Sean. You talk about makerspace. That is a fantastic makerspace inside that building. So I had no idea. I was very impressed.
Great. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Brookhaven's Forum Gallery just opened an exhibit. It's beautiful. You should go and check it out if you wander to Brookhaven. I got to chip in. You had to put me on the spot. Last name's Hernandez. It's
No, like sculpture, painting.
well, that's the thing. I can't answer that question because of the way it looks. I think it might be considered sculpture. Even though it's on paper, but it's got texture, and so it's kind of like a multimedia, I guess, would kind of
Cool.
where it fits. It's really cool. So I highly recommend wandering over there. And it just opened. It's
Forum
the Forum Gallery.
Forum.
Yes, and I'll come back with. It's so it looks like paper, but it has weight and it's lifted off the wall, and so it's very interesting. Super cool. Highly recommend it. The artist's last name is Hernandez. I'm gonna figure out his first name because I'm gonna tell you wrong.
Thanks for sharing that. I also want to say that, the Parks and Rec Department and Day of the Dead, we are teaming up with Dallas College and they will be performing their mariachi at our Dias de los Muertos. So Brianna and I have been working together with their music department, and we're also hoping to have some type of music in our new community altar, which will be held in the church this year. So as our background music, so we're excited to have them participate with us, along with Arl Turner Folklore will be performing. I just talked to Jonathan today, so he'll be at Branch Arts Live with his group, and he'll also be performing at our Dia de los Muertos. So I wanted to share that. Jennifer, you're up.
Yeah, so I love October, November because all these great arts festivals and stuff are going on. The big one, obviously, is the annual state fair, Friday, September 26th to August, Sunday, October 19th. If anybody goes and sees any cool vendors, arts or food and stuff like that, make sure you make a list and bring it to us for the event review committee so that we can pass it along to the city. There is the Valley House Sculpture Garden on Spring Valley. They just have a new exhibit that opened last week and will be there for a few months. It's free to the public and they just ask for donations. But in addition to having the indoor space with the art, they also have open hours where you can walk around the property that has a ton of different sculptures. It's just like one of my favorite like places to pretend I'm not in Dallas. It feels like I'm in the woods somewhere. It's gorgeous. I highly recommend it.
Just looking nice. Is that in Farmers Branch?
It's not in Farmers Branch. It's technically Dallas, but
Okay, just for sake of the agenda itself, let's just stick with only those,
Okay.
events that we attend that are in Farmers Branch.
okay. Can I mention like Cottonwoods Art Festival to encourage people to go and same thing, check out the vendors and bring them?
Offline on your own, yes.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, then I think we've already covered all of the city events, so.
Rita,
I can't think of any events that I've been to lately, but I do regularly go to the library and it's always such a great experience and a beautiful place and the art there is lovely and I do enjoy my walks through the parks. That, you know, the Rose Garden and the historical park is always a great day out.
thank you.
So you were talking about makerspace, so the only thing I have to add is we were doing our subcommittee meeting and interrupting the library presentation of the 3D printer. But they have a lot of options for makerspace things going on there. And obviously doing training and different things going on. So yeah, we kind of had to move to the side for talking too much during their training. But I think that's a cool thing for people to know if you're wanting to get into that. If you've never done it, they even have people to teach you, so.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can sign up to take a training with them. They have it
They
regularly.
have 3 or 4 people there taking the training.
That's great. I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
David?
You mentioned, but since we didn't do it in the formal meeting, we closed Rock of Ages and it was really, really good. I'm almost nervous to say, but it feels like things are back to pre-pandemic times in the theater world. As far as audiences and butts and seats and all those things. And so that's really exciting. As you mentioned, we're doing Newsies Junior. This is the second weekend. If you want to see 35 kids on a stage tap dancing, come see it. And I will give accolades to Amy. Probably 90% of the kids took from her to come see the show.
I'm coming tomorrow.
It's really exciting to see these kids. And if you don't know, Amy owned a studio for 20 or 30 years. And so we've had waves of her students come through, but this is really cool because, as I said, probably 30 of the kids trained through her. And it's just fun to see. First of all, we don't do a lot of shows where there are scenes for kids to tap. And so just the fact that that's there, it's usually an adult thing. Not because of us, but that's the way the writers write the shows. But to see these kids and see how good they are at the ages, these kids are 7 years old to 18. And they're really, really good. So hats off.
Kudos to you, Amy.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
It's great.
After that, I think you mentioned we have a Young Frankenstein that's middle to the end of October, which is the Gene Wilder movie, Mel Brooks. If you want to laugh a lot, come and see that. There'll be lots of tap dancing.
I was gonna say there's tap dancing. Putting on the reds.
Yeah. And then we have added some special events that we're getting ready to announce. They're kind of cool. On November 2nd, there's a group that's an improv group that's calling themselves Totally Made Up Musical. And if you go to it, they're going to ask the audience for the topic and they're going to make up a musical in front of your eyes and perform it. That is Sunday night, November 2nd. They've already done it up at Pocket Sandwich in Carrollton. It's really a
And it
great
was
time.
very successful.
They've done it in Arlington, they've done it in Irving, so we're gonna have it at the firehouse and kind of see where that goes. On November 8th, there's a group called Beetlegrass. There's a bunch of 3 musicians who have been with a lot of bands that you all know that play Beatles music that's got a twist of a little bluegrass to it. They're phenomenal. They've been at Arts Oak Cliff. They play in Garland all the time. And so that's kind of a special. And then December 17th, we're having one of our former performers that went on to tour with a band whose name will come to me in a minute. So she's kind of been on the road, and then now she's sort of been through that phase of her life for 5 years. And now she's kind of doing cabaret stuff at some big hotels around town, Bethany Lawrence. And so she's coming December 17th for like a Christmas chorale type of, or Christmas concert type of thing. So this is really how it was pre-pandemic, where we were doing our shows and then we'd have these special things that were happening. And so from that perspective, it really feels.
Your Christmas show.
Yeah, and we have Christmas show Holiday Inn. It's coming out.
Oh,
We have a
that's
gala in
right.
between there. So there's a lot of stuff.
Based on the movie, so it's
Yeah.
beloved.
More chat.
More time.
It's out here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all wearing our hyper up, so.
Yeah.
Please. Question, are you calling those series any special thing? Like, is it just like a,
We're working on.
okay, on a name
Yeah.
for, yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Fantastic.
Yeah, we're working on that because what we really want to do when we sell a season ticket, we want there to be a way that when you buy a season ticket, you might get a discount when we do special events under the artist series or whatever we're gonna call it. So, there's just a lot of stuff happening, and just like with you guys, and,
Yeah.
we're playing catch up.
That's exciting. David, thank you for sharing. That's fantastic. Thank you.
And the city, I will say, the city owns the building. They are painting it and replacing some rotten wood, and they're doing some things that the city does all the time with the buildings that the city owns in the area. But you may see some different changes coming to, I think they're gonna landscape and blah, 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 blah. So the city does all that stuff behind the scenes. And so just thank the city staff whenever you see them. I know that they're not necessarily responsible, but the different departments do their different things, and they do a really good job of that.
That's great. We will pass that along.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Chris?
I haven't attended any specific events, but I did have occasion also to go to the Mansky Library recently and, really enjoyed it as always, and, great experience.
Fantastic. Thank you. Dawn?
Well, I have the opportunity to see a lot of events through our school district, which is awesome. But I think more importantly is the partnerships that we've really developed even around this table. And our students get the opportunity to perform at a lot of the events and things that are happening in the city, which I really appreciate. And I met with even somebody from Brookhaven just the other day to create more of a partnership for our students. And so there's just lots, I think we do, I think because we're here, I think which provides our students wonderful opportunities to perform at those events, which we love and we get the opportunity to go see. So.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I have one more thing to add, I'm sorry. So I'm sure all of y'all have seen that the Farmers Branch Rawhide Creek Trail is being widened and improved. And I think I've brought this up before, but a good kind of marketing tool that we could utilize, especially if more people are going out into that trail, are these like kind of stickers that you can put on concrete, and I can pass this around. But basically it's just like a impermanent sticker that you can put that targets certain things. So for like Gateway to the Globe, you can do that. The North Haven Trail, I think, the one that's just here in Dallas, is where I took that photo from, and they've done it a few years in a row, especially during like Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. So like when people are walking, they can see like Happy Valentine's Day or Happy Mother's Day, Mom Love, Chris and Jenny or something like that. But it would also be a good opportunity to put one of those in permanently for upcoming city events that encourage people to go
That's a
out.
good idea. That seems very,
Yeah.
that seems very cheap and
Yeah.
really fun
Yeah.
to find them.
Yeah.
And eventually they wipe off on their own or whatever, but they stay there for a really long time. And I can send that photo to you so you
That's
can
cool.
see it, but yeah, like it's
That's a good
a
idea.
great
Makes it fun,
event.
and it more engaging when you walk by. 'cause
Yeah.
it's painting.
And an artistic element.
Yeah.
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 And then the other thing is there could be a little bit of money coming to the city, because if you do like a targeted event where you could like, be like happy birthday to someone, or, like Valentine's Day or something like that, then you can put those on for like a little cost.
For sure, we could even do that for like daddy-daughter dance, if they wanted to pay a little bit extra, and then when the dad and the daughter arrive, they can take a picture of the little.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, and then when we get to the walk, the arts trail and stuff like that.
No, that's
Yeah,
great.
that'd be
That's
awesome. Thank you, that's great.
That's a great idea. And is it called anything or is it just, is that an individual person doing?
Who runs it is the North Haven Trail. I'll send the information.
Yeah, please.
I think the word she used was semi-permanent concrete sticker. That's what I've heard it called. And
Yeah,
Okay,
a vendor that the city uses does that.
Okay.
Because we use them too.
Yeah, I think they do like
They
a
already do
heat
that.
seal on the concrete, so it doesn't damage anything.
How have you used them?
screen print.
We use them during COVID to put.
Yeah.
Stand here.
Yeah, but they pushed them on me before and we've talked about putting it out on that front patio.
Yeah.
We just haven't really had an event. This really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
With
I
city.
like it out in the
Yeah.
trails and in the parks. That's it, this event
One
is
of those
coming up.
leftovers
Oh,
from
yeah.
COVID that
Yeah.
got repurposed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really nice, but it can't.
And then, you know, they last
Yes.
Month.
however long.
Yeah.
they last, And I think they're relatively easy to remove.
Remove
so
if you
it
want
doesn't leave any
Then you
damage.
spray
It's like
wash them
that.
off.
Them are
Yeah.
just like-
I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I knew I had a photo and I couldn't find it the last couple times.
That's great.
Otherwise, the white rain.
I think that's all the items on the agenda. We do need to discuss any future items. Any future items to add?
One thing with the events review committee is that there's some push to make sure that we really advertise any events that we have upcoming where we could utilize volunteers. I know some of the events got moved from one umbrella to another umbrella of a different board or whatever, and so that's been causing some confusion with kind of a delayed response or delayed notification to the other boards. So the sooner we can send out that information, the better.
As far as what?
As far as volunteer signups for
A
different
call for
events.
volunteers.
Yeah,
We have our Parks and Recreation Board meeting tomorrow. So once we, I'm going to basically present them with the opportunity of the marketing tent. The events team put together kind of a sample box for me, so that way I can show them. And then be able to come back to, the members of the different boards that are on the event review subcommittee, since it lives under our cultural board, but the Parks and Recreation Board is like the mother of all of the events, you know, playing the puzzle pieces. That way I can just present to you guys and show you guys, okay, at this marketing tent, we just need one person from each board, and it can be split up between 30 minutes of multiple people from one board. As long as we don't have everybody from one board there at one time, a quorum. This is the box. Here are the business cards with the different facility managers. Here are our laminated QR code sheet with the different facilities. And then pretty much just advertise what you guys do and what you know. Advertising the arts and culture at Farmers Branch would be y'all's main topic to conversate, the artist directory, Branch Arts Live, like whatever's coming up next. And then when the next board member comes in, someone else might come up and they may get a whole different story. But the main facilities that Parks and service areas of the Parks and Recreation Department delivers will be there pretty much for everybody through the form of a QR code, business cards, or flyers.
And what about giveaways?
So with giveaways, it's tricky there, right? So we just got an approved. It was a flat budget. This next fiscal year, we won't necessarily be purchasing much of the tchotchke items. And that's kind of a directive that we've been given. So giveaways, there probably won't be many giveaways, but I'm sure we can probably come up with some, cheap pens that can last a really long time.
And I still have some from that we've purchased that we can at least bring to Branch Arts Live, since it is an arts and culture event,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah. A lot of our divisions, like, the Branch Connection, they have their, game nights and their different things. And so I want to try and save the divisions tchotchke items for those related things, you know, because these large events, yes, residents come to them, but they're primarily a lot of non-residents as well. And so if we can keep the, you know, much more cooler little swag items for, you know, Branch Arts Live and Day of the Dead and different things like that, that's my preference. Because we're targeting our residents to come to those types of things, but Halloween in the Park and Independence Day, you've got everyone coming.
And would that be appropriate then, if Rita was out there and she did have a few signs that still haven't been given out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that is the opportunity, and that's something we'll continue to discuss as we continue to kind of find down on this agenda is instead of creating newer events or newer meetings and newer opportunities, let's meet the residents where they're at, where they're already coming to Christmas in the Branch, you know, Halloween in the Park, Independence Day, Day of the Dead. Let's get out there and touch and reach them there, because that's where we're gonna find them, instead of adding another event to their calendar that they're gonna have to make time through kids volleyball and basketball and all the things that life brings, right? So I think that's a great idea to bring those types of things that you guys are already wanting to promote to the community. You're gonna capture a lot of people.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
So I'll just add something that'll be very cheap to add to those things. If we could make something that talks about the art trail and the 3 new art pieces, and if we can get the existing art pieces there, since there's 4 over there, there's just a card. So we can say, hey, have you seen the new art? It'll be out by January 1, you know, so we don't need the cards tomorrow, obviously, but a way to have other things to talk about. What we've been doing as a board is putting art out, but we haven't told anyone. So when we get there, that'd be a quick and easy. I'd love to have the artist say, it's all right for us to go make little orange fox keychains or things like that have Farmers Branch, Texas on the bottom, and
You do that at the library.
promote those things. A 3D printer.
That's true.
After you take
The
a class.
artist would have to give that
I was
permission.
gonna say that.
They have already given that permission. Remember,
use the
we're 3
likeness?
years into this and
But to use the likeness?
not the keychains. What
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking
what,
about
yeah, that
is,
would be an additional.
they've written their statements already.
Oh, yeah, no, I realize you have all of that.
So I
So we
have
just
that,
need handouts for that information.
right,
Yeah.
but I'm saying I have most of that information already, because we did it in 60 words or less, we did full page biography,
Cool.
we did all kinds of stuff, bios on them, so, things were, their statements that they wanted on their plaques are in the works already, just because we've worked on it a long time. The Foxy, I remember asking, we do own these 3 pieces, so it's just a matter of,
But to reproduce, they typically would have. to
Yeah.
find
Yeah, that's a
something
different,
extra.
that's a different animal.
yeah,
too.
I think so too. So, but we could
But
the artist should-
absolutely start putting together literature on that, a small card or whatever. And we do have that on our website that does feature each artist and
Yeah.
what their, artwork is all about.
Yeah, and if you're not already signed up to the social medias, there's been a really great increase in just information that's getting put there. So I'm sure they'll be able to put great blasts about that. That actually reminded me of an event that's coming up for City of Farmers Branch for the Builders of Hope Community, the Valwood Park Community Meeting on September 25th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. While it's not art, it's definitely culture, because it's encouraging people that live in the city to stay within the city in homes that are improved. So
Any other agenda
I
items?
have 2
Yes.
questions. The Sister City program, can we get an update on that? I know council had a meeting talking about that, and I know Mexico was discussed. I didn't watch it, but I saw the agenda, and I feel like, over the past year, that was assigned to us, and then it kind of went away because of lack of whatever. And so as a committee member, I feel like we don't know where we are with the sister city, and maybe council doesn't know either. But if they don't know, can they tell us that they don't know? Can we get some kind of an update on that?
For next
Yeah,
time.
I don't think I'm gonna make it a line item, but I think
Okay,
it can be
okay.
discussed under subcommittee, since it
Yeah.
was an original subcommittee, and I think it can be discussed under
Okay.
there.
And are we still responsible or not? If we're not, you know, that's great.
I know it's been on hold for at least 2 to, I had heard from the person who was kind of taking it over, the point, I'm gonna say the point contact. She told me that it was gonna be put to rest for at least a year or two.
Okay,
I think with that being part of tourism, when this board was under tourism, that's kind of the reason why it was designated kind of to our board here. I think now that we've taken that into consideration, I think the tourism economic development team upstairs, they're handling that. But we can get you guys an update on, is it ours to discuss?
that's really the question.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are we supposed to be doing anything? Yeah.
And then the second question, I know we typically, staff and the chair give an update to the council, and that, is that December, January?
It's in November and there's not a date set
Okay.
yet. I don't think it's been released yet. I don't have it yet.
No, not yet. And I know that our team, actually Jackie Biles, our branch connection manager, is coming up with a template. So that way all the boards will utilize the same template, basically cover the same information just pertaining to their different boards. And then once that template is finalized, which I believe the due date is like next Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll then send it to board liaisons to give out and start working.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I call one more time. Any other agenda items?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? The meeting is adjourned at 7:03 PM.
We just had to get past that hour mark.
Right, we're still recording.